Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fair Life with Andrew McKee. And yes, I just realized that I did never send out invites on Facebook, so might take people a little longer to join. So we'll see how that goes. That's actually might be an interesting test. You never know. I still sometimes try to figure things out and how the best way to do things are. Invites are a very odd aspect of doing live streams on Facebook. Anyway, but yeah, hey, Sareed and Jan and Dan, thanks for joining. And yeah, it was a crazy weekend. Um, Saturday was a bit warm down in the Austin area for Sherwood Forest Fair, but there were almost 17,000 people at the fair. I think we're getting to a point where we can't call Sherwood a medium-sized fair anymore. It's starting to get to that point where it's a large fair. Yeah, it's kind of hit it. When you're starting to get numbers like that, and that was about the third largest number they've ever had. And it is, yeah, there were over 9,000 on Sunday. So it was pretty good. It's sort of on that cusp where some weekends it feels more like a good size, medium size fair. And then other weekends, no, this is a large fair. It's tough to say. So I don't know. I'll be watching for that to see throughout the season. And at the end, I don't know. I might make a determination on what I consider this fair. And you can't really compare it quite to something like the Texas Renaissance Festival or Minnesota, because those are like mega fairs. They'll have days where they have tens of thousands, but that's not common. Most fairs don't get that. So yeah, so we'll see. But it is interesting. Anyway, yeah, it was a very good weekend. They put me on a new stage, so that was very interesting. I was on the Lionheart stage, which is usually a stage, one of their big stages that they use for larger groups, and yeah, it was kind of fun. I think I did a pretty good job. I felt like I handled it fairly well, and I like the fact that I can carry a big stage. That is always a good feeling because as a solo performer, they never have that opportunity and they're never given the chance. So it is a very different dynamic and you have to approach it a bit differently. Since I started out in a duo, we would sometimes get thrown onto a larger stage, sometimes not. And it was kind of back and forth. It kind of made it, I kind of got used to both worlds. And then when I went solo, mostly smaller stages, and I'm fine with that. I totally get it. But it felt good to know that I can still do that. And Haley, hi, nice to see you. Yeah, it was a good weekend. It really was. Now, of course, you might notice from all the green behind me back there that I'm all prepped for uh, I'm all prepped for St. Patrick's Day, so getting ready for tomorrow and that. Oh, Dan. Oh, choppy? Shh. It doesn't. Let's see the stats on my end. Everything looks good so far. There's been what I've missed out on 13 frames out of 94,000. So no, I'm good. I had it open for a while beforehand, and so that was probably even before I went live, those 13 frames. So if it's happening, it's not on my end. It might be an issue with Facebook. Hmm, that's not good. Because yeah, it's not happening on my end. That's the problem. I don't have any dropped frames. Nothing's going. So I'm sending it to them, okay. Hmm, that's not reassuring. Hmm. There might be something going on their end then. Yeah, it's looking pretty bad. Let me see how. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if YouTube is looking any better. I don't see anything happening on my end though. Okay. Great, moved over to YouTube. Okay, we'll see how YouTube does and give it a shot. If it doesn't go well, I apologize. Yeah, but in this case, in the past, wow, in the past 5 years, how weird is that to say? Yeah, I haven't. Uh, this has not been a problem. Uh, I mean, when it has been glitches, I had evidence of it and I could see. This doesn't seem to be on my end, at least not directly. It could be the internet service provider that I'm using through my Airbnb, but it at least seems to be going to an extent. So, if you need to switch to YouTube, try that. Hopefully, the sound is at least okay. So I'll continue with this and see, but it might be a Facebook thing. Here's hoping. Sorry about that. Well, luckily this is a very relaxed episode because we're just prepping for St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, and certainly I think it's an interesting holiday. Of course, I'm a little biased on this, but it is different than a lot of holidays. I mean, it has received some criticism. Oh, good, you can hear me fine. Well, that's at least something. It has received for being maybe a little too commercial, or well, with the connections to drinking and overindulging with drink, for sure. And wow, also what? Well, I guess fostering negative stereotypes of Irish culture, perhaps. But other than that, yeah, it is a. It definitely has had some issues. Yeah, and Jan's talking about the live feed issues. I'm I'm actually seeing it on the dashboard on Facebook that it is having some glitches, but in OBS as I'm sending it, it's fine. There are no problems, no dropped frames, nothing. I haven't had a single problem with sending out data. It's going fine. And yeah, I'm not seeing anything. So yeah, I'm thinking it's probably on Facebook's end. And I hate saying that because in the past, when people say that, it's usually it's an excuse because they don't know what the problem is on their end. So they just blame Facebook. And yeah, I've always tried not to do that and take the fall for that. Let me see. I'm trying to. Oh, wait. Yeah, it does look like there is some network problems going on. I'm looking at it. It is a networking issue. I think it's my ISP. I'm sorry to say. Uh, I've had pretty good luck with them here, but every once in a while it does get a little choppy, I have noticed. Yeah. Well, okay. I'll go ahead and jump through this really quick and we'll at least get through the show. And I apologize. I will see what I can do. It is looking like it might be my ISP that's the problem. It's definitely not my computer or OBS. I think it's on their end. Never fun. Okay. Well, I will try that and see what I can do. I even went to a low bit rate to try to minimize this problem, but it still seems to be an issue. Okay, so it's better on YouTube, but yeah, my best guess is that it's something with the network, with the ISP. And hey, Janine, thanks for joining. Yeah, okay. Well, let's just go ahead and get through it real quick, and at least you can hear me. Okay, it sounds like even if I jerk around a little bit, but a little choppy. Well, anyway, uh, yeah, I think it is a little. It is a problem. So I guess this might be more of an audio fair life. I apologize. Yeah, yeah, it is looking like it's the ISP at this point. Definitely the network. Mm, yeah, gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll keep an eye on it. I don't know if there's much I can do about that. Um, oh, okay. Yeah, okay, that helps. But yeah, I yeah, I'm not sure if there's much I'll be able to do about that. We'll see. Oh, Jan moved over to YouTube as well. Okay. Well, like I said, I'm just going to jump through. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Uh, Good holiday. I like it. It's not, it's not the kind of holiday where you get the day off from work or anything like that. It's just a more celebratory day that, yeah, there's some commercial elements to it, definitely. And it did kind of miss the original point of St. Patrick's Day. It's morphed into something else, but name a holiday that hasn't. Whether it's had religious origins, then it's changed into something else, like and, like involving eggs and a rabbit, or or going door to door asking for candy, or they always make some serious changes. I mean, they get more commercial or sometimes more political than what was originally intended. It just it really have it makes sense because usually holidays are meant to remember something, and when it kind of gets past memory, people don't associate the same things with it, and new things come around, and people start associating those with it, and it changes. So I get it, and that's kind of the point. But yeah, I mean, generally commercialism kind of hit a lot of holidays in the 20th century and really changed them a lot. But the interesting thing is that St. Patrick's Day really changed a few hundred years ago. I mean, in Ireland, originally it was a religious saint's day that was just kind of a break during Lent. It wasn't really a huge deal. I mean, yeah, St. Patrick was a big deal as far as history and that kind of thing, the patron saint of Ireland. But that it wasn't as much of a huge celebration kind of thing. It was, like I said, a break in Lent. But in America, it morphed into something else because you had so many Irish in America, starting the 1700s and 1800s and 19. I mean, it really started a long time ago. They missed home. They missed Ireland. There was depression over it. So a way to curb that was to have a celebration, to have a parade, to do that kind of thing. And it really caught on in a big way. Originally, it was a standard celebration of Irish culture, very, very ethnic holiday. But it's morphed into something else. I mean, and that's the Irish way. Any excuse to throw a party. I mean, you get, it's like the Irish wake, well, yeah, this is a shame, but it's a good excuse to throw a party. And that's the mentality they're kind of working with. So that's kind of what happened. So, I'm just going to jump into 7 reasons because I kind of am working on this anyway, and I'll start it. And 7 reasons. I was doing 7 reasons why St. Paddy's Day, well, I was going to say it's the best holiday, but that's arguable. It's not really. It's. I'd say 7 reasons it's one of the most underrated holidays. I think that's fair. That's a fair assessment. So let's do that. Number 7, green reduces stress. The color green. I mean, if you look at a list of the most popular colors, it's the most healthy colors. Green is always on the list. It's always usually at the top because it really reduces stress. It kind of makes people think about nature, and there's a certain serenity to it, and it's very calming. So a very good color. So it's a healthy color. So, hey, in that respect, it's good for you. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day is healthy. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's a bit of a stretch, I know, but there's some truth there. Number 6, it's not about being Irish. Not really. I mean, it maybe it used to be a long time ago, but the general consensus is everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day. I mean, everybody gets to enjoy and have fun. It's incredibly inclusive, more so than almost everything else. I mean, there are other things that are inclusive too, but this one is surprisingly inclusive. So in that respect, very positive. I think that makes it a very good thing, because most of the traditions and things we think about and associate with St. Patrick's Day, they were developed in America and the U.S. And then it kind of caught on and went back to Ireland, and they embraced it. Maybe originally somewhat for tourists, but like I said, any excuse to throw a party, they really liked that and enjoyed it, and they went with that, and it was a good thing. And now it's an incredibly popular holiday. So yeah, definitely. Number 4, it's celebrated in more countries. It, as far as just a celebration event, it's celebrated in more countries than anything else, which is shocking. I've seen different numbers, and I tried to research it and lock it down. It depends on the source you get, but the number is roughly around 200 countries, and I was just kind of like, whoa, that's wild. 200 countries loosely celebrated. Let's put it that way. But yeah, it's just amazing how that influence and Irish immigration really progressed. Okay, still working on it. I'm sorry, guys. Um, I'll be done in a moment. Let's see. Number 3, low requirements. If you want to have fun and participate, you don't have to do anything. If you want to really go crazy, you can wear a little green, and that's it. Most every other holiday, it costs money to participate, to do a thing. It can be expensive. It can be time consuming. With this, not so much. So yeah, definitely cool. Number 2, no one will judge you. I mean, you can go totally crazy and wear a ton of green, just be the most outrageous leprechaun-like character. I mean, you can look like the craziest football fan in the stands, and nobody will think less of you. It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it kind of does that sometimes. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it groups will get together and do a lot with St. Patrick's Day, and then usually it's the people who are really the driving forces behind it either retire or pass away or move, and then somebody else will come in and revitalize it. Maybe it should be you. Something to think about. But yeah, and it's an option. But yeah, that's general consensus with that kind of thing. Okay, and number 1, drinking. I mean, come on. Everything is, well, most, so not something to do every day, but hey, every once in a while, indulging and having some fun with your favorite alcoholic beverage, not bad. And having a designated day never hurts. Yeah, the green beer thing, I'm not much of a beer drinker. For me, it's always been whiskey, so never really a problem, but I hear you. It's a little weird. Oh yeah, Kansas City definitely, and of course the Chicago with the dyeing the Chicago River green, and Boston, and yeah, pretty much the big Irish communities, you're very huge into it, and then some of the moderate Irish communities usually very big into it too, and I think the others have just kind of embraced it as, again, an excuse for a party. Gotta love it. Well, let's jump into. Let's go ahead and jump into the Faire map here. There we go. Notice a lot more fairs this week. I'm going to go ahead and just go through this real quick because that my connection is junk. It looks like. Yeah, it is the network. I'm looking at the diagnostics now, and the encoding is fine, but the network is bleh. It's very sketchy, and I'm really doing the low bit rate too. Yeah. Oh yeah, and you're right. It is a shame that it's that it is midweek this year. Yeah, it is. It can be rough. It can be rough. Sometimes it's more interesting when it's on the weekend. I don't know. I mean, sometimes midweek can be interesting too, because like on a Tuesday, that's usually one of the weakest times for bars and pubs and restaurants and all that. That's not when people go out. And an excuse to do that, well, it's good for them. So I kind of like that. Anyway, let's jump in here and see. Okay, I'll go ahead and break out the laser pointer. I don't know if you can even see it, but hey, we'll go with it. But why not? Okay, we're starting with the Viking experience in North Carolina. This is their first weekend, and this is just a Viking festival that started in 2022. This is in Oxford, North Carolina, and it goes for 2 weekends. So this will be the first, and then it'll go for a few more. Jumping down to Florida, we have the North Florida Renaissance Fair, just this 1 weekend only, and it's its second year, so it's still a new one, in Tallahassee. Then jumping down to the Bay Area Renaissance Festival, and that's still going on. This will be the 6th out of 7 weekends, and Dade City, Florida, and the theme is Viking Invasion. Then down in southern Florida, we have the Florida Renaissance Festival, Deerfield Beach, and it is the 7th out of 8 weekends. So the Bay Area and the Florida Renaissance are almost done. They have a couple more weeks each. But don't worry, the list is not going to get smaller. A lot of weeks to take their place. So for fairs, that's done. It's going to be crazy for a while. A lot of fairs. Jumping over to Alabama, we have the Selma Renaissance Fair in Selma, Alabama. Now, this is its second year. I remember it from last year thinking, ooh, I wonder if that'll catch on. Well, it's back, and it's 2 weekends. This will be the first of 2 weekends. So something to check out. Always good. If it was a different time of year, I might try going because be fairly